Hurry up, 5 minutes. 5 minutos. Esta noche es muy caliente.
Hey, download your TikTok app today so you can have Chinese spyware in your house for free. You go down! Give me money!
Fucking future!
We're talking about a fat ass and everything, yeah.
I said loud ass. It's like I took a poop and it was one of those painful ones that brings a tear to your eye. Well, the good thing about not having a big stream, the good thing is the fact that not too many people are upset when I'm not here. I don't have, like, you know, thousands of messages hitting me in a little private message like, hey, where the hell you at, man? And I'm like, nope. Most of them don't even ask. Most of them don't even ask, and that's okay. Oh, just watching my boy shift. He's got 459 viewers talking amongst themselves. Because, you know, that's how they do. Oh, that's how it is. What you think, dog? Huh? Yeah? Pretty much. Pretty much. Well, we're going to have ourselves a couple sippy sips of whiskey whisk, but we haven't poured a single drop yet. Because, you know, reasons. Get some music queued up. What are we going to listen to today? It's not dealer's choice, but, you know, waffles. Oh. You pay how much a month to fucking listen to music that gets you copyright stricken? You know, just enough. Oh. That tastes like water. Weird. That doesn't taste like whiskey at all. Although it is the primary ingredient in whiskey. Petit doll. Petit doll. Oh yeah. Good pets. Good pets. Sleepy pets. Yeah. Yeah, pretty girl. Easy pets. Easy pets. Okay. Guess we're gonna listen to Epic Classical, because, you know. Oh my god, really? Why you do this? You literally have one... Oh, that's right, because we just restarted. There we go. I had to restart my tablet because it died. Don't judge me. I don't mean to let things die. They just do. Uh-huh. Oh, what we gonna drink on? I mean, speaking of letting things die, my little Hello Kitty mug had the Steel Whiskey Stones. It's been sitting out here since last Tuesday. It literally... And I was thinking to myself yesterday, like, you better put those in the freezer or you're going to forget. And you're not going to have cool whiskey to sip on. You're going to have to drink room temperature whiskey. Don't judge me, dog. I forget shit, okay? You've got food and water right now. I don't... She's looking at me with that attitude. Oh, that's just your face. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, don't be mad. Just relax. It's all good. Easy, good girl. We're just gonna have a dog petting stream. Just pet the dog. Yeah, she doesn't seem to mind it. Oh yeah. She's a good girl. Now I don't want you guys to think it's like this all the time. She barely gets any pets, so she appreciates whatever she gets. Oh my goodness, that cute little yawn. What? That delay though, son. I'm not even sure I want to drink whiskey tonight. I know, gasp. What are we gonna drink, dog? I mean, I could just stick with that Chattanooga 111. It's been getting the job done, but I'm feeling like something. That's right, you make up. That's why she'd rather stay with you than with me. She's like, I'll stay here. It's fine. I don't know how to pet a dog. She gets no pets. Oh. You gonna lay down? You're just gonna keep on. She's gonna keep on expecting pets. That's why we can't do this, because she's expecting this. Like, are you expecting pets now? So fucking demanding, I'm telling you. Yeah, we're talking about you. One day I'm just gonna leave her there. Your house is a place of abandoned dogs. Ah, just kidding. I said till death, dog. The only way I'm leaving you there is if you die, and even then I'm gonna throw you in the back of the truck and bury you in the backyard. That's right. You staying with me. You my bitch. She's looking up at me. Yes. 'Cause you my girl. You my bitch. Dog's gonna run me into the daggum poorhouse. Not with food, but like with shit she just randomly decides to eat. One day someone's gonna make her just so damn ill, because she keeps on just like, hey, look, a toad. Oh, look, a cicada. Oh, look, a spider, a snake, a lizard. Ah, it's all delicious. My dog's Asian. She'll eat anything that's alive. I'm only half Asian, and I better know where the hell that bitch came from. And we don't do mystery meats. Dog does. She don't give a shit. Dog gangsta shit. She's so Asian. You Asian dog. You eat anything. Eat like every meal's your last. That's how she rocks. What you think? Yeah, we're gonna have ourselves a little pot pie and some bitch for dinner. Some meatballs. You gotta get some meatballs. Haven't poured my whiskey yet. Shall I go with the chicken cock or stick with the 111? It's room temperature. For some reason, whiskeys that are stronger, they seem to be a little bit spicier when they're not slightly cooled. But I refuse to put any of my hooch in the freezer, because 111, I ain't done bet. It's already open, you're right. Since you're the only one who's probably going to respond, and that's okay. Oh, highness. What'd you think? How's that smell? Aw, you didn't even lick that. Good girl. She's like, yeah, nah. I figured it would make her sneeze or something. I let her sniff the cork. No, I ain't gonna let her have any. Alright, so note to self, Totino's pizza is not a solid meal, so don't drink like you ate. I know I shouldn't. Ugh. Oh man. Oh, brings a tear to your eye. It's good shit. Yeah? Yeah, I know your bed stinks. It's my bad. I didn't clean it. You know what? I'll take her to the... I'm taking her to the groomers tomorrow and gonna clean up her bed stuffs. That's what I'm gonna do. That's part of the plan for tomorrow. And mow more grass. Fuck! I don't wanna mow more grass. Yeah, it'll grow hair on your chest. Not me, apparently. I'm just, I'm just a hairless wonder. That's what I've been told. I don't know about a wonder. I make people wonder. Now, we're going to sit here and say hi to everybody. Hope they're having a good night and all that shit. Now, we had somebody tune in just long enough to click up the view counter to 3, and then they left. Why would you do that to yourself? People don't want me drinking room temperature whiskey. That's what it is. They're like, that's a decent bourbon. I mean, it's alright. Dog keeps on looking at me. What are you looking at, dog? It's like, I can't believe you drink that shit. You criticized me for eating shit out the backyard. That stuff smells like it came out of the buzzard's backside. You know, I never even thought about it. What kind of voice would Roxy have? Like if she had a people speaking voice. What celebrity would you sound like, huh, dog? My golden retriever was totally Meg Tilly. Totally. She was sweet, but she was also evil? Oh, absolutely. That was my golden. Should I do the book cover thing again? You know, just have that in the screen? Or was that a bit much? Killing Legends. What you think about that, dog? Does that smell delicious? It's okay. You can lay down. And put it here. I'm gonna put it right here. Ow! You shocked me. It's okay. Lay down. Oh my god, the book's taking up the tiniest bit of space and she's got to get all the way in the other corner. Look what you did. You did that. Now people can't see you. They see the top of your big old coconut. Come here. I know, you just got comfy. You're like, why? If I try to move the bed, she'll freak out and run off somewhere. Oh, Roxy want to get up close and personal with that camera, huh? Yes. Now she's looking straight at me. Okay, so it was silly. I should have set it up ahead of time. You're right. What can I say? You're right. See, I told you she's small. You were like, that's a big dog. I'm like, no, she's a normal sized dog. She's a bit on the smaller side. You're my little baby. Are we ever going to get reading this book? I don't know. Are we ever going to have viewers? Probably not. I mean, you know, after like 3-4 years, this should be normal. Like, hey, dude, it's never going to fucking happen. You don't promote it. You're right, I never promote it. Sarcasm is not good. It's the language of a defeated people. I'm looking at the screen. I don't know what I'm looking at. I see a collar. Oh. Miss RN, would you mind grabbing me a soda? Actually, just bring the soda that's over there. No, it's warm. Could you grab me like a 20 ounce of something on the way over? I'd really appreciate you. Pretty please, thank you. Cheer water squirt if they got. You know they ain't gonna have that shit. They got that ghost though. Maybe. I mean, you don't have to. I'll just drink more whiskey. Pass out. All snoring and shit. Snorlax. Favorite Pokemon, go! Snorlax, Gengar. Yep. What type of Pokemon is Gengar? Nobody knows. I mean, I don't know. Okay, nobody knows means I don't know. You'd think that this is right up my wonderful alley of random stuff. I like to know more about real stuff than I do about made up stuff. Depends on the topic. No. Put that down. Start reading the book. Otherwise, you're not going to get anything done. You know, you might have a point. Da na 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 na. I don't know why that sumbitch always keeps coming up. I'm like, it's not classical music. It's a score for a movie that's done with an orchestra, but that does not make it classical. How do people not understand this? People don't seem to understand that. Chapter 2. August 27, 1965. Beverly Hills, California, 10 p.m. A secret meeting is underway. 3 black Cadillac limousines pull up to the tall wrought iron gates guarding 1174 Hillcrest Drive and Trousdale Estates section of Beverly Hills. Built into a hillside, the 5,300 square foot ranch-style mansion has 3 bedrooms, walls of glass, and a separate guest house. Thick white shag carpeting covers the living room floor, an ankle-deep pile. That's pretty luxurious. That sounds nice and soft. The arriving guests have been expected. In the great round room at the center of the house, a party is in progress. Blue and red mood lighting, colored TV, a jukebox. Colored TV in 65? Nice. I mean, you think about the house, though. Nothing but the best. Pool tables, drinks. Elvis Presley and the coterie of friends he calls the Memphis Mafia entertain a bevy of young women. The gathering is large and loud, with more than 20 in attendance. Elvis is quiet, unsure of how the evening will proceed. Few in the room know who's coming over, but ground rules are in place to ensure the visit goes smoothly. No recording, no press, no photos, and above all, the meeting must remain a secret. Secret. 2 members of the Memphis Mafia pull open the gates and wave the limousines through. Colonel Tom Parker, who made this get-together possible, rides in the front car. As the vehicles park at the circular driveway, the occupants emerge. Tony Barrow, a 29-year-old publicist, is among the arrivals. He's worked closely with Parker to arrange tonight's rendezvous, and he now fidgets nervously, hoping everyone gets along. You know, I know this has nothing to do with it, but he fidgets nervously. Just for some reason, Rick and Morty popped in my mind, and Morty, to me, other than a shaking chihuahua, will always embody nervousness. Just Morty's always just, he's always nervous. He's got this shaky voice, and it's just. It's pretty. It's seared in my mind. If I hear a nervous individual, I'm generally thinking of that sumbitch. So yeah. And if you don't know, you don't know. And that just means we need to watch Rick and Morty together one day. Got the first 3 seasons on Blu-ray. Barrow is British and has worked this job for the last 3 years. He signed on with his friends before they were famous, and it was he who coined the moniker that fueled their rise to stardom, the Fab Four. Members of the hottest pop act on earth proceed through Elvis's front door: John Lennon, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, and George Harrison. 10 years ago, Presley was their idol, inspiring their dream of making it big in the music world. In Lennon's own words, without Elvis, there would be no Beatles. It was the Beatles who requested this meeting. They had tried before 1 year ago, but that rendezvous did not come to pass. We could never get to him, Paul McCartney will remember. We used to think we were a bit of a threat to him, and Colonel Tom Parker, which ultimately we were. So, although we tried many times, Colonel Tom would just show up with a few souvenirs, and that would have to do for us for a while. We didn't feel brushed off. We felt we deserved to be brushed off. After all, he was Elvis, and who are we to dare to want to meet him? But we finally received an invitation to go round and see him when he was making a film in Hollywood. That film was the musical western Frankie and Johnny. Elvis's co-star was Donna Douglas, already famous as Ellie Clampett on the Beverly Hillbillies. Well, there you go. Now the shoeless feet of John, Paul, George, and Ringo sink into the deep shag carpeting as the four led to Elvis's playpen and Tony Barrow's words. John Lennon is thrilled. It was very excited. We were all nervous as hell. And when we met him in the big house in L.A., probably as big as the one we're staying in, but it still felt like big house, big Elvis, Lennon will remember. He had lots of guys around him. All these guys that used to live near him. Like we did from Liverpool. We always had thousands of Liverpool people go around us. So I guess he was the same. And he had pool tables. Maybe a lot of American houses are like that, but it seemed amazing to us. It was like a nightclub. Man, pool tables. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a pool. I'd rather have an air hockey table than a pool table, but when would it ever be used? Nobody ever comes over. I mean, I got one person. You want to play air hockey? I got no place to put it except for the garage. And fuck this southern heat. Ain't happening. I'm not spending like $1,000 on a table that ain't going to be used but once or twice a year. However, the excitement quickly turns awkward. Okay, we'll have to go to a place that has air hockey. Maybe that'll be better. I don't know. I cheat though, so that means I win. He cheats. What do you do? I just put my whole forearm over the goal. You can't beat me. You gotta hit me so hard I have to think twice about keeping my arm there. Just kidding. I don't do that. I do other things. It's fine. I ain't read no rule. However, the excitement quickly turns awkward. There is a weird silence Barrow will remember of the moment Elvis and the Beatles first laid eyes on one another. The King has been plucking at a bass guitar while watching television without the sound on. Elvis is about 6 years older than John and Ringo, the two eldest members of the band, at 24 and 25 respectively, but the generation gap seems more like a chasm. You gonna lay down? People don't want to see part of your eye, they want to see the back of your head, just like that. Now, you do whatever you want, it's fine. The Beatles, along with bands like the Rolling Stones and Herman's Hermits, are part of the music world's raucous British invasion. They wear their hair long with bangs covering their eyebrows and long sideburns. Elvis and his crew, their southern ways, transported temporarily to Los Angeles, still prefer more traditional 1950s pompadour. I mean, the look is classic. I mean, it's weirdos who wear it nowadays, but don't worry about weirdos. Also, the King no longer makes cutting-edge music. His most recent single, Crying in the Chapel, sold over 1 million copies, but never reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 sales chart. Also, his recent film, Girl Happy, did nothing to stretch his acting chops. Its $3 million box office gross is well below the $10 million of Viva Las Vegas just 2 years ago. Help, the second Beatles film will be released 1 month from tonight. It will gross over $12 million, 100 today. I mean, that's really not that much considering, you know. Even more palpable is the buzz gap. The Beatles are a sensation. They are at the end of a 16-show U.S. tour that began at Shea Stadium in New York City 2 weeks ago and will conclude here in Los Angeles with 2 sold-out shows at the Hollywood Bowl. They are spending 6 nights in a rented Benedict Canyon home nearby to rest before those final performances. That location was supposed to be top secret, but word has leaked. Fans throng the streets in front of the residence, forcing road closures. Others try to scale the property's walls. Nice. Elvis Presley once owned that level of fame, but while he still needs those wrought iron gates to keep fans away, the King is no longer a teen idol. So on the side of the room stands Elvis Presley with his group of revelers. On the other stand the Fab Four. No one knows what to say. How about hallelujah? That sounds like a good thing to say. Except John Lennon, the brass guitarist addresses the issue their parallel careers with 2 quick questions. Why do all these soft-centered ballads for the cinema these days? He asked Presley. And then, what happened to good old rock and roll? Hey, just come swinging, why don't you? That's why they shot your ass. Oh, wait, what? No. Too soon? Maybe. Elvis does not respond. The question had to hurt him, but no one will ever know for sure. What? Oh, I'm disappointed. I was really expecting a response. There was no response. The truth is that rock and roll is changing dramatically along with the rest of the world. Traditional groups like the Four Tops, Righteous Brothers, and the raucous Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs still dominate the charts in 1965. but a darker political tone is beginning to intrude on pop music. 5 best-selling singles of 1965 in descending order of their place on the charts were Wooly Bully by Sam the Sham, I Can't Help Myself, Sugar Pie Honey Bunch by the Four Tops, I Can't Get No Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones, You're On My Mind by We Five, and You've Lost That Love and Feeling by the Righteous Brothers. The emergence of socially conscious artists like Bob Dylan and Joan Baez has been a radical departure from girl happy fluff Elvis still remembers. For Presley and the Colonel, history is passing them by. The assassination of President John F. Kennedy, the rise of the civil rights movement, and above all, the controversial Vietnam War has music fans seeking new messages in their music. You know, I always wondered about Bob Dylan. Like, I personally prefer, like, the Guns N' Roses remake of Knocking on Heaven's Door. And I don't know how somebody with such mushmouth became such an integral part of the music scene. I honestly do feel like that man sold his soul to the devil for his recording legacy. Because Jesus, man. Even nowadays, I'm just like, I know the words, but that's not what he's saying. But whatever. Fuck Bob Dylan. Gee, did I say that out loud? My goodness, my internal dialogue is broken. I apologize. Even as the Beatles and Elvis meet tonight in Beverly Hills, the impact of President Lyndon Johnson's Gulf of Tonkin resolution accelerates the cultural change. Thousands of miles away, North Vietnamese torpedo boats allegedly attacked 2 U.S. naval vessels, leading LBJ to order retaliation by U.S. bomber aircraft. As with the war in Korea that ended 12 years ago, it didn't end. There was a ceasefire, and it's still holding to this day. The presence of American troops in Vietnam is framed by the U.S. government as an effort to defeat communism. Yeah, just in case you guys didn't know, we're still at war with North Korea. That's right. Oh, thanks for the sub, Cherry. Cheers and welcome to the stream. 25-month resub. There's a couple lulls in it, but you know. Cheers. Oh. Oh, that tastes like whiskey right there. Ooh, that's spicy. Ah. My gosh. But unlike the Korean War, which came at the peak of post-World War II, anti-communist fervor in the United States, the U.S. bombings in North Vietnam, have many questioning if this is just a war. Protests have begun at universities around the country. Many students are aligning with anti-government opposition through acts of rebellion like growing their hair long and smoking marijuana, a substance that Elvis Presley, despite his fondness for opioids and amphetamines, considers an abomination. Well, that's Roxy. You've seen her before. Once, I think. Yeah. Oh my gosh. See? You know what? I Pulp Fiction was, Mia Wallace asked him, "Are you an Elvis man, or a Beatles man, or was it Travolta's character that asked Mia? I don't fucking remember. Jeez, I feel like I need to rewatch Pulp Fiction now. But anyways, at that point in time, when it came out, I was more of an Elvis man, but that's thinking about young Elvis, Heartbreak Hotel and all the other shit, Blue Suede Shoes and whatnot. But as I grew older, I grew an affection for the Beatles, and so now it's Beatles. But knowing that the king of rock, had a thing against marijuana, I don't give a shit what people choose to get high with or whatever, but weed smells like dick cheese. Weed smells gross. Smells like an armpit and swamp water or fucked a pine tree and a cat's asshole. This shit's gross. I don't care what fucking damn magical strain of fucking killer skunk or whatever. All weed, burned or not, smells disgusting. It's really just the smell. It's not the effects. Although some people it's just like, bro, you're dumb enough. And I'm not saying weed makes you stupid, but some of those impaired judgments may not be the best. And that's why we got everything covered in cheese. Although, if any of you watched the cheese documentary I shot out today, then there's other reasons. God, they got us good with that PSYOP. And then it turned into the Got Milk campaign of the 90s. Anyways. The intensity of this cultural shift demands that the world of entertainment pay attention. So while the sophomoric Wooly Bully is all the rage in 1965, the future belongs to protest. Dylan Baez, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Hello to Zerg. Jefferson Airplane, the Beatles will record their statement songs too, riding the wave of the popular music in a way that will take their music from the innocent lamentations of She Loves You and I Want to Hold Your Hand into the very political revolution which in traditional ironic Beatles fashion protests the act of protesting. I love your, what was that called, a Nintendo Me? I like your Me profile pic. It's great. Share the whiskey? Way too young, little pink squishy. Way too young. You gotta hit at least 2 before you get a little gum rub. Anyways, Colonel Tom Parker is violently opposed to Elvis making a similar career alteration. He despises message songs and refuses to let Presley record such material. It will not be until 1969 in the song In the Ghetto, a record made behind the Colonel's back, that the King will address societal issues. Presley's continued frivolity in 1965 means his reputation as a serious artist is slipping away. Crying in the Chapel may have sold 1 million copies, but it has absolutely nothing to do with life in today's America. But does it not? Anyways. It is not known whether Elvis Presley understands what is happening in the world of pop music. He does, however, have a choice to align himself with the new brand of music or to continue with business as usual. After talking with Elvis, Paul McCartney recalled, I only met him that once, and then I think the success of our career started to push him out a little, which we were very sad about because we wanted to coexist with him. He was our greatest idol, but the styles were changing in favor of us. Now, I've made a very conscious decision not to use my Lilliputian accent. Oh, look at us, we're the Beatles. You know, it's very basic and it's not so good. I mean, it's better than your typical American's version, but for a guy who claims to do voices, you know, my British accents could be so much better. Although you can never really truly get an honest British answer because, you know, they're all about busting balls and everything is shit to them. Oh, it's shit. It's well shit, isn't it? Yeah, alright, sorry. Sorry for asking more specifically. So, it's rare when you can get an honest, critical review from a British person because they're all about the banter, isn't it? Just back and forth with the quick jabs. And if you don't have a thick skin, you just don't talk to British people. I'm just saying. They're not nice. They're not Canadians. Well, here's one for you there, Pink Squishy. Little peanut. Speaking of which, I actually showed my dad and my stepmom my mug today. And they said it was girly. What's girly? What's girly about this, huh? Huh? What is it? Is it the ferocious whiskers? Huh? Is it the pink ribbon? The yellow button nose? The shiny black eyes? Ain't nothing girly about that shit. That's Hello Kitty. It's a fucking icon right there from Sanrio. And by the by, if you guys are into, you know, toy history and all that, that show, The Toys That Made Us on Netflix, is the shit. As much as I dislike Netflix, I do like The Toys That Made Us and the movies that made us. Unfortunately, they don't have all the movies I like in the movies that made us, or vice versa toys. They never cut it for Thundercats, but it's fine. Dog, you gonna lay down? You keep on getting closer to that fucking camera. Jesus, mama. She's hamming it up tonight. She's being a sweet, sweet baby. As the meeting with the Fab Four unfolds, Elvis is kind to the Beatles, shaking their hands and exchanging with them stories about life on the road. But that conversation does not last long. They quickly exhausted their initial bout of small talk, and there was this embarrassing silence between the mega famous five publicist Barrow will remember. The King calls for guitars, which are instantly procured. A short jam session breaks out. The boys found they could make a much better conversation with their guitars than they could with their spoken word. Music was their natural meeting point, their most intelligent means of communication, Barrow adds. God, I wish they would have recorded some of that meeting. As per the ground rules, no one takes a picture of this moment. No one turns on the recording device. It's a fucking shame. Not having drums, Ringo Starr pounds on the backbeat on wooden furniture. Elvis continues playing the bass, which is usually McCartney's instrument. See, Maka, I'm practicing, the King jokes. McCartney quickly replies, Brian Epstein will make a star of you soon, referring to the Beatles' manager. Man, how different would that have been if they would have gotten rid of the fucking Colonel? Poor Elvis. He just died in obscurity on the fucking toilet. Anyways, McCartney replies, Brian Epstein, publicist Barrow watches the scene. Wretches. Everybody was singing. He'll remember fondly. They tried to make light of it and not show too much adoration for their idol, but Elvis Presley was their idol and one of the prime influences of the Beatles' music. Finally, Colonel Tom Parker has had enough. He enters the room with a pile of Elvis albums, hands them out like presents, and ushers the Beatles to the door. The meeting lasts just an hour. Long live the king, John Lennon shouts in a comedic German accent as he steps into his limousine. There's talk among the Beatles about whether Elvis took drugs before their visit. Elvis was stoned, Lennon insists. Aren't we all? George Harrison quips. Oh my god, George, the quiet one. You know, honestly, if I had to pick a famous Beatle, a favorite Beatle, I wouldn't, but I think George Harrison is one of the ones I like the more. We'll put it that way. And Ringo's definitely, you know, he's not an original four. Anyways, shut up. Fuck that other guy. I don't remember his name. Doesn't matter. Chapter 3. Oh, speaking of which, the Beatles were fucking dicks. I think it was Lennon that retorted. One of the reporters asked them during an interview. They asked Ringo. They're like, "What's it like being the best drummer in the world?" And I believe it was John that said, "He's not even the best drummer in the band." Like, fuck, really? That's a dick thing. British banter once again, but yeah, that was to me, that was up there with the whole we're bigger than Jesus moment. But, you know, that's just poor Ringo. Ringo was a good, wholesome guy. Ringo's still alive, right? He's a wholesome guy. He's all right. He doesn't sign autographs anymore because, you know, he's tired. And Lord knows that man has autographed at least 1 million things in his life. That's without exaggeration. I think he's literally signed at least 1 million things, and that's nuts. I mean, if I were Ringo, I'd just autograph a star. I wouldn't even put my name down. Anyways, like I'd put a letter R and a star. There you go. There's my autograph. May 1, 1967, Las Vegas, Nevada, 9:41 a.m. Elvis Presley is tense. It is a Monday morning, and Elvis and longtime girlfriend Priscilla Below pose shoulder to shoulder before Nevada Supreme Court Judge David Zinoff in a suite at the Aladdin Hotel. They stand together against a backdrop of tall white candles and elaborate white lily wreaths, as Elvis's favorite color is white. The two wedding photographers work the room, which is difficult. The space is too small for the 14 assembled wedding guests. Everyone is standing uncomfortably close, including Colonel Tom Parker, who has orchestrated the event. More people would have been in attendance, but Parker did not want a large crowd, and he specifically banned all but 2 members of Presley's Memphis Mafia crew, who at any given time, depending on the singer's needs for bodyguards and company, could number anywhere from 6 to 20. This decision angered a number of Elvis's confidants. But the superstar would not go up against the Colonel. His loyalty ran too deep. Outside the suite, located on the hotel's third floor, members of the press listened through the closed door, waiting for the ceremony to end so they could be the first to see the new bride and groom. Rumors about the top-secret wedding have been circulating for days. The fortunate invited guests gathered at Elvis's Palm Springs home yesterday afternoon. By that time, Memphis Mafia member and co-best man, Marty Lacker, will remember. The reporters were there by the dozens. When they saw all the people arriving, they knew something was about to happen, and that something was probably a wedding. The reporters were trying to bribe the maids. One was offered $500 to reveal what was going on, but she didn't do it. By the late afternoon, the guests had all gathered in front of the home. Colonel Parker strode down the long driveway to announce that there would be a press conference. Problem was, the meeting would be held more than 200 miles away in Las Vegas. Immediately, the press rushed to relocate. Even as reporters drove through the night, the wedding party and guests flew to Vegas on two chartered aircraft. The group had been carefully chosen. Elvis's father, the 51-year-old Vernon, and his second wife, Dee, Priscilla's parents, and Joe Esposito and Marty Lacker, who would serve as best men. Priscilla's sister, Michelle, would serve as maid of honor. The ceremony begins on time. The marital vows are standard. However, the same words Judge Zinoff has recited hundreds of times. However, there is one exception. Elvis Presley refuses to say obey in his vows. Priscilla will. Fair. He is the king, after all. A trio consisting of a violin, accordion, and stand-up bass plays Love Me Tender as Elvis and Priscilla enter the room. As Judge Zinoff states the vows, the musicians stand ready to launch into Here Comes the Bride when the ceremony is complete. The couple appears nervous. Elvis enjoys the teasing Priscilla, pulling her hair or tugging on her earlobe, but there's no evidence of that behavior now. Elvis Presley's mother, Gladys Love Smith Presley, died on August 14, 1958 of a heart attack brought on by acute hepatitis. Just in case you guys needed to know that. That's there. That's why she wasn't there. There's a reason. Presley stands with his hands at his sides, a carnation is in his lapel. Priscilla holds a small bouquet of flowers. The king wears a black-on-black tuxedo custom made for this day by Hollywood designer Lambert Marks, who chose a fabric of paisley silk brocade. Elvis accessorizes with black cowboy boots, diamond and sapphire cufflinks, and a platinum watch also decorated with these precious gems. His trademark black pompadour is extra tall for this special day, supported by wires that run up the back of his head, hidden under his dyed black hair. Oh, you gotta have an extra pompadour. My gosh. It's a special day where you will not obey. Priscilla, as Elvis calls his bride, bought her simple, full-length white dress with lace sleeves and matching veil off the rack. Her brown hair is also dyed black to match her new husband's and is layered high in a bouffant style. Later, one of Elvis's groomsmen will say she looks like she had about 8 people living in her hair. Well, that's kind of funny. Jeez. Elvis had proposed just before Christmas last year, instructed to do so by Colonel Parker, who recognized that the attention spawned by a wedding might give Presley's tanking career a vital boost. As Parker well knows, the king has not had a hit record since Crying in the Chapel. His highest ranking since then, I'm Yours, reached only number 11. And while his 1966 Christmas album would go on to become the best-selling holiday record in history, it is clear that Presley's time as the king of rock and roll is now a memory. With his own 6-figure income on the line, Parker turned his focus to having Elvis make a number of foolish movies, which include soundtrack albums. But that strategy has failed, as both the films and the recordings are mediocre at best. The United States is being pulled deeper into the Vietnam War, and the protest culture around the world is growing stronger. Elvis's pop music and thinly plotted romantic movies belong to a different era. The King finished filming his most recent movie, Clam Bake, just 4 days ago. It is Elvis's 25th film, and one of the rare times in their relationship that he and Colonel Parker fought about his career path. That rift is still not completely healed as Elvis stands before the judge. Parker's hope that Elvis would become a crossover star in both movies and music was based on the career of crooner Frank Sinatra, who has successfully managed both. Like Elvis, the young Sinatra hit a career lull too in the early 1950s, so the singer switched from light-hearted movies to serious fare. His role as Angelo Maggio in From Here to Eternity won him the 1954 Academy Award for the Best Supporting Actor. Subsequent roles in Guys and Dolls and The Manchurian Candidate have also boosted Sinatra's celebrity. Indeed, Frank Sinatra is now just as well known as a serious actor as he is a singer. It is not lost on the Colonel that Sinatra's wedding to Mia Farrow 1 year ago generated enormous publicity. This is the inspiration for his demanding that Elvis marry Priscilla. Author Mario Puzo modeled his Godfather character, Johnny Fontaine, on Sinatra. The funny thing, little side note, in case you guys didn't know, the role of McLean from the Die Hard series was actually originally written for Frank Sinatra before Bruce Willis was cast as John McClane. Sinatra accepted the fact that he was an older man and he wouldn't be that accepted. Lay down, baby. It's okay. Anyways, so the original star of Die Hard was supposed to be Frank Sinatra, and Bruce Willis was cast in his stead with his blessing. Because, yeah, waffles. Can you imagine how different Die Hard would have been with a 60-plus-year-old Frank Sinatra? Actually, when that movie came out, he was probably in his 70s. I don't know. Oh my god, dog. The camera only goes so many different ways. There you go. And there you go. I believe I also learned that little fact from the movies that made us, but... Oh, by the by, as far as movies and pacing is concerned, and decent, riveting storyline with action combined, Die Hard is probably one of the best movies of all time. Personal opinion. Take it however you want. This whiskey's hitting me fucking hot, so I might not be much longer for the stream. But I will try. God dang it. And for those of you that tuned into the first stream, thanks. My computer decided to crash the stream because it needed an update right after I hit go. And I was just like, yeah, no, fuck this. Rude. Ooh, that's spicy. Meow, 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 meow. Frank Sinatra once railed against Elvis Presley and rock and roll music, but as American culture leaves the king behind, the two stars have become good friends. Ironically, Sinatra's music is enjoying a resurgence even as Elvis's work falls into decline. The 51-year-old New Jersey native's duet with 26-year-old daughter Nancy, a simple pop tune whose official title is Something Stupid, is now number 1 on the Billboard charts. Colonel Tom Parker arranged for Sinatra to loan Presley his private jet to make the midnight flight from Palm Springs to Las Vegas. He even set up actor and amateur aviator Danny Kaye to pilot the aircraft. The 56-year-old Kaye starred in 17 films along with The White Christmas and The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. In 1964, Elvis Presley bought President Franklin Roosevelt's old yacht and donated it to Kaye's cancer charity. Well, that's very nice of him. Anyways, Elvis and Priscilla will maintain his Memphis mansion, Graceland, as their primary residence. The new bride and groom plan to live in Tennessee most of the year. They've also just leased a 5,000 square foot mansion with palm trees and a pool in Palm Springs. The reason for the acquisition is that Colonel Parker lives just half a mile away. Really? The Colonel's choice of Las Vegas for the wedding is primarily a business decision. Elvis Presley is closely associated with the city due to the success of Viva Las Vegas, and the new owner of the Aladdin Hotel, Milton Prell, is a good friend of Parker's. The developer has connections with the local press and can keep things quiet until the time for publicity is right. Prell purchased the establishment 2 years ago for $10 million, $83 million in today's currency, and spent millions more upgrading it, adding a lounge, a 500-seat showroom, and a golf course. Wow. Okay. Prell is a casino resort's third owner in 5 years. Oh, that turnaround is kind of off, but okay. Twice the Aladdin has been shut down for lack of customers. In fact, the hotel is so associated with failure that its nickname is the Vegas Jinx. Maybe Elvis and Priscilla can change its luck. Having the wedding in Prell's personal suite guarantees publicity for the Aladdin, and Prell hopes a surge of fans will want to spend the night in the hotel where Elvis got married. The jinx will continue. Milton Prell will have a stroke later in 1967 and will be forced to sell the property. The original casino was demolished in 1998. A Planet Hollywood now stands on the site. Have you guys ever been to a Planet Hollywood? I mean, I thought it was really cool that Stallone and Schwarzenegger and Jackie Chan and Bruce Willis decided to get together and start their own Hollywood-themed franchise. But I've never been to one. I've been to a couple Hard Rocks. You know, I've been to Hard Rock Budapest, Hard Rock Orlando, and, you know, I got the collectible Zippos and whatnot. But I don't think I've ever been to a Planet Hollywood. Whatever. As a couple stands before the judge, there are rumors that Priscilla is pregnant. Just enough billow to the front of her off-the-rack dress to fuel that speculation. Indeed, the timing will prove extremely suspicious, as she will give birth to daughter Lisa Marie just 39 weeks from now. But the fact is that Elvis got down on a bended knee to present Priscilla with a 3.5-carat diamond ring 5 months ago. Prior to that, he was never in a hurry to get hitched, having lived with Priscilla for 4 years. In her memoirs, Priscilla will claim that Elvis would not have sex before marriage, and that consummation of their union did not take place until this very night. My gosh. Whoa. Oh, Elvis. Kudos, bro. Jesus. I mean, he was fucking everything with a pulse prior to that, but you know. Some people and their standards, I'm telling you. This does not mean the king had remained chaste. Yeah. During his time, Elvis was extremely active in pursuing women. His list of one-night stands would fill volumes, one biographer will write. In addition to Anne Margaret, Elvis has been linked to actress Natalie Wood, Marilyn Monroe, and Peggy Lipton, among many others. It's nice to know the king did not discriminate unless you were living in his fucking mansions. Stop it. Stop it. Lay down. It's okay. But it was Anne Margaret who caused the most trouble between Elvis and Scylla. In November 1963, after filming of Viva Las Vegas was complete, the Swedish singer was quoted in the Los Angeles media as saying she was in love with Presley. I'm telling you, what the hell? What the hell? Oh, would you stop moving? Jesus, like you're a live creature with their own brain and shit. Elvis and Priscilla are staying in his Beverly Hills mansion when the story breaks. Colonel Parker seems to defuse the situation by immediately sending Priscilla back to Graceland to shield her from the media. But first, an enraged Scylla must know the truth. She confronts Elvis, demanding to know if he has been unfaithful. She has long known about the chemistry between him and Anne Margaret, but he has insisted there was no physical romance. Caught in a lie, Elvis confesses everything. Priscilla hurls a vase across the room, narrowly missing the king. You tell Anne Margaret to keep her ass in Sweden where she belongs, Priscilla shrieks. Yet the affair does not end, as Parker puts Priscilla on a plane to Memphis. The opportunity for Elvis and Anne Margaret, whom the Memphis Mafia refers to as Thumper, to spend more time together emerges. But in time, the affair subsides. Naughty, naughty. There were other factors in Elvis's life that forced him apart from me, and I understood them. And Margaret will write. Had always been honest with me, but still it was a confusing situation. We continued to see each other periodically until we had dated for almost a year. Then everything halted. We knew the relationship had to end, that Elvis had to fulfill his commitment. Oh. By mutual agreement, the once sizzling couple moved on, just as Elvis now ties a knot at the Aladdin this morning. And Margaret will wed Roger Smith 1 week from today at the nearby Riviera Hotel and Casino. In a private conversation, Anne Margaret, now 81, told Bill O'Reilly that Elvis treated her with the utmost respect, and to this day, she has a genuine affection for him. Well, I hate to say it, but if you truly, really do care for someone, you do want nothing but the best for them, even if that does not include you in that picture, which sometimes it can suck. But, I ain't no Elvis, so thank you very much. Penis. Oh my god, how many more pages in this chapter? Oh, literally 2 pages. Well, 4, but who's counting, right? But marriage will not end the deep friendship between Elvis and Anne Margaret. Just 1 month from today, she opens her first ever performances in Las Vegas with a lengthy engagement at the Riviera. The king will send a guitar-shaped bouquet and then show up backstage to offer his congratulations. Yeah, it's congratulations. Presley will step inside her dressing room and shut the door. Yeah. His smile faded and his eyes lost their playfulness and turned serious. And Margaret will write. Suddenly, the old connection burned as brightly and as strong as it had years earlier. The two will hold hands, and Elvis will even drop to one knee to confess exactly how he still felt about her. Elvis, you dog. And while Anne Margaret intuitively knew he still had feelings for her, the affair is over. She will remain married to Roger Smith until his death in 2017. If Elvis would have wound up with Thumper, Marty Lacker will lament after Elvis's death, this whole story might have wound up differently. But that was not meant to be. Instead, Anne Margaret and Roger Smith will be among the mourners attending Elvis Presley's funeral. Back in Las Vegas suite, Elvis and Scylla both look nervous. Neither has ever been married before, and at age 22, Priscilla seems overwhelmed. She nervously clutches the bouquet, her eyes darting around the room. Elvis, for his part, is stiff. After the ceremony, he will joke. How can you look happy when you're scared? The Memphis troubadour and his gray-eyed brunette bride-to-be landed at McCarran Airport early Monday morning and drove with friends to the county courthouse where they obtained their marriage license at 3:30 a.m. The Las Vegas Sun reported. The county clerk's office opened at such an early hour to prevent the press from knowing about the wedding. Indeed, Elvis and Priscilla's secret exchanging of vows will spawn a trend in Las Vegas. The city will soon be awash in late-night wedding chapels where couples will be married by pastors dressed to look like Presley. In fact, couples inspired to wed in Vegas will become so numerous that the city will eventually bill itself as the marriage capital of the world. The idea to plan the wedding in secrecy belongs to, of course, Colonel Parker. He knows that the clandestine ceremony will keep the press even more intrigued, and he is correct. The Colonel manipulates the media, controlling exactly how the story will be told. Leave your cameras and your pencils and notebooks outside, please, he informs them, thus preventing any miscue inside the suite from being reported. Reporters and television cameramen from all over the world comply. Colonel Parker looks on, even hitting one photographer over the head with a cane when he has the audacity to move to a different location for a better shot. Assault. Good job, Colonel. Elvis and Priscilla are then led to a small table at the front of a room. I guess you're all wondering why we asked you to come in, Elvis says playfully. Then, in full view of the press, he pulls Priscilla to him for a long kiss. He noticed it was a sweet kiss full of pride, warmth, and affection rather than the usual Hollywood movie type of kiss which anticipates a love scene. Hollywood syndicated columnist May Man will write. He kissed her tenderly, but then Elvis is not usual, nor does he do the usual, but he always that which is most admirable. Romance quickly turns to business. Reporters fire away. What made you finally get married? Why did you give up bachelorhood? How long were you engaged? Why this and how that? Elvis and Priscilla handle the questions nicely, according to the best man, Marty Lacker. As they depart, they are struck by the fact that Priscilla does not say much. She defers to Elvis. You can plainly see who wears the pants in this marriage, one reporter whispers to Man. I didn't think that they made that kind of woman anymore. She lets her husband do the talking for both of them. Press conference complete. The couple heads down the elevator for a reception in the Aladdin's ballroom. I don't know why I want to say Aladdin, but, I know it's Aladdin. Well, at least in English. Comedian Red Fox is the only celebrity in attendance, personally invited by Parker. 3 swans made of pink ice decorate each table. The wedding cake is filled with apricot, marmalade, and Bavarian cream. Features 6 tiers and costs $3,200, $23,000 today. The pastry chef did not add Elvis's name in icing until 30 minutes ago, yet another attempt to keep the wedding a surprise. 20 waiters in formal attire and white gloves serve suckling pig, oysters, Rockefeller, fried chicken, caviar, and lobster. Red Fox was an African-American comedian who often played Las Vegas. It was there he met Tom Parker. Fox used a lot of blue language at a time when that was rare. He would have a long and successful career, the highlight of which was a television sitcom, Sanford and Son. And so the marriage begins, the union of Elvis and Priscilla, Colonel Tom Parker, till death do they part. Well, we all know the ending of that particular story. That's how the damn sumbitch started. Where are you going? Lay back down. Lay down. Lay down, you big goofball. There you go. I was putting down the book. I didn't say it was over. I'll tell you when it's over. It's not over yet. So, Q&A. Thoughts? Tell me how your day's going. Anything? Something? Nothing? Just sip whiskey and look at you, and you can feel uncomfortable because I'm just looking dead in your soul. That's right, that's water. There's water in this, and because you know what? Anybody and everybody who's ever touched or drank water, they've died. I think that was a problem with Elvis. He drank water at one point. Had nothing to do with his fried peanut butter, jelly, bacon, banana sandwiches. Oh my God, that sounds so decadent. I tried to do a fried peanut butter and banana sandwich one time. I made it like a grilled cheese sandwich. Peanut butter was just oozing out the sides and stuff, and it was good, but I felt like it was too much fucking effort to do on a regular basis. But that was the king's jam, so to speak. And that man enjoyed his food, huh? And his opiates. Oh my God, could you imagine? So, for those of you that don't know, I know a couple of you know, because, but opioids have an effect on your pooping ability. It pretty much just says nope. Well, that's true, okay? So, I was getting to that, but, it's just, apparently King fell asleep on the toilet a lot because, he would take his uppers so he'd get all energetic for his concert, and then he would take downers so he could sleep, and on top of that he also enjoyed them, so he probably took more of both than he needed to. and being, I guess, morbidly obese. You know, I mean, the king was a big boy. You know, it caught up with him. I don't know. What was the official ruling of death? Was it heart failure, something like that? You know, but thank goodness OxyContin wasn't around. We would have lost Elvis way sooner. You know. Anyways, it's sad to see these artists and celebrities go, you know, while they're still young. But, you know, I mean, some of my biggest idols, short of Jackie Chan, you know, have kicked the bucket before my current age. You know, I mean, hell, what was it? Chris from Crisscross? He fucking died at 30-something. Bruce Lee died at 30-something, you know. Jesus died at 30-something, you know. A lot of my idols growing up, they just kicked the bucket before their time, so to speak. And you know, I don't want to clown on somebody's relevance to any particular industry before they died. Oh, well, they were no longer making hits or whatever. Who cares? You know, this was somebody to some people, or a lot of people, at one point in time, and here I am partying like a fucking rock star, you know, just talking to you beautiful people on the internet. Most of you I know personally, and just remember, if at any point I commit suicide, just know I knew something didn't indict the Clintons. I would never do it. Just like Kurt Cobain. No, I swear to you, I don't have a gun. I ain't got no guns? Shit. Look at me. You can't take me seriously. I've been drinking. It's okay. It's okay. I love you guys, and I appreciate you so much for tuning in. We are small but mighty. But see, unlike these other streamers that have thousands or hundreds of thousands of viewers, I feel like if it was a life or death situation, you guys would have my back. Unlike those fair-weathered followers of these people with hundreds of thousands of people that don't even acknowledge the chat. Although I understand once you have hundreds of people, the chat gets kind of crazy and you can only selectively respond to so many messages. Look, I want hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I don't necessarily want the viewers and the chat. Although, since there's only 5 of you here, chat would be appreciated regardless of what I'm doing, whether I'm playing a video game, doing artwork, or otherwise. You know what? I will respond to you as soon as I can, and we will chitty chat. Any questions, comments, whatever. All I ask of you is to speak in complete sentences, and we can go from there. Specifically, if you're responding to something, you know, don't just be like, oh my gosh, or wow, or I can't believe that. Can't believe what? Because I will ask the question back. And I understand there's a delay, and, you know, so that's why it's important, because I say lots of things, so it's important. I can't respond properly if I don't know what you're reacting to. Yeah, let him know, dog. She thought we were done. Turns out she was wrong. She's not usually wrong. Because I put the book down. She was like, oh shit, it's time. It's not time. It kind of kills me that she's a short hair. Because, you know, even if she had longer hair, she still would be allowed in the bed with me. But one day I put on a vest just trying to take her outside. And those short hairs, they stabbed the shit out of me. It was very unpleasant, you know, without a shirt on. So I was just like, yeah, you're never allowed in the bed. And I know she would jump up if she were allowed to. But she's not allowed to. And you know what? God bless her understanding and obedience to not do that. She may put a front paw or two up on the couch or even on the edge of the bed, but she won't jump up because she knows she's not wanted there. She knows I'll probably bite her, huh? Huh? Ain't that right, dog? I'm gonna bite you hard. Ooh, that tastes like whiskey. So, nobody's going to ask any questions or say anything. I believe that I've said all that I can say, including the words of the book. I guess we might just call it here. You guys okay with that? Huh? Going once, going twice. 3 times a lady. I think we'll just call it here. I'm gonna go make me a peanut butter and banana fried sandwich. Just kidding, I'm not. It's gonna be a chicken pot pie. Because lazy, minimal effort. Anyways, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I'll be back on tomorrow. I cannot guarantee that it'll be a Bobby Ross Wednesday because this weather's been kicking my ass. I don't generally complain about the weather, the heat, the rain, the cold, none of that. But it's been a little bit on the taxing side. So don't be mad at me if I don't have a Bobby Ross Wednesday tomorrow, which I hopefully will be able to do. But on the off chance it isn't, I'd appreciate you tuning in and supporting me regardless, with hopefully more chatter than we had tonight, which that's perfectly fine. I'm used to the quiet. I don't like it, but you know, middle child, I need all the attention all the time. That's why I'm sharing my life with you guys, from just inviting you into my house cordially and lovingly and so on and so forth. So don't be a fly on the wall. Say hi. Conversate. But it's fine. I will talk with you guys later. Have a wonderful night. The dog knows she's antsy. Stay. Stay. Good night, people. See you tomorrow. 8:30, 9 o'clock Central for those of you that don't know. For those of you that do, peace, love, harmony, and for everybody else as well. Bye!